shine. It's your morning motivation time, and this one's going to be a tough one for me because I'm in the middle of my workout and I just had another text battle with my ex, another battle with my friend, and in the end, I'm sick of it all, and I must be sick to participate in it. And that's something that I had to realize today. Let's go into it, shall we? Your boy Saint owns men's workout tanks. If you want a workout tank, let me know. I'm just recording, bro, on video. Yeah, he's got it. He just stared at me crazy like I didn't just start the show. I've been here for a half hour going over in my mind how sick my mind is to jump back into something dysfunctional like abusive behavior, including myself being abusive. I fully take accountability for my actions. I really had to deep dive and say, why am I choosing the women that I'm choosing? Why did I make that decision? And it turned out I really kind of didn't make that decision. I kind of kept kicking her away. I kind of kept saying, look, I don't like you crying on the first time you're in my bed. I don't like you talking about your ex in my bed. And I definitely don't like you killing my baby. And for me to have a mental illness, to want to be able to get in there with her and discuss it with her, turned out to be a bad decision. This woman immediately started calling me names again. She said, don't be a dick, and this is why you have no friends, and this is why your businesses don't work, and all sorts of like really slanderous, rude shit. And I'm sitting here and I'll go, I didn't call you any names. You know what I mean? I'm not over here calling you a fucking killer, a murderer, a cunt, a bitch. I didn't go after any of that. You know what I mean? A quitter. I mean, that's gonna be one of the worst things you could call somebody is a quitter. And I'm no quitter, so I'm still doing the show. And that's why we have to have this conversation today, or at least I do, is because as much of a narcissist as I am, or my parents are, I for sure know she is. And that's tough because, in narcissism terms, they're gonna want you to look like you're the problem, right? They're always going to want, let me set this up right. They're always going to want you to look badly because that's gonna make them embarrassed. And I'm already embarrassed. I already talked the truth about my sex life and how I go and have sex with a random somebody's wife, and she felt like she was too hungover, so I must have slipped something in her drink. That shit ain't proud for me. It's not a pride for me to say, I slept with this woman, she had my baby for 5 months, and she committed an abortion even though I didn't want that to happen. And there's a lot of things in my life that I don't want to happen. I wish I had more money so I don't have to hear my friends bitch about how much water there is, or how much water I use, or if my towel is wet, or take a fork out of my hand, or complain and bitch underneath his breath. And it's just like, I've been a major inconvenience for him, but the truth is it's been minor, and I've been preparing for years to come visit, and he hasn't done anything with me, and neither did my friend in Germany. And I started to tune in on that. I started to tune in on, there's a difference between friends and staying friends. There's a price that has to be paid for our friendships. And that's what ends up happening is that, we don't want to deep dive into why we have the relationships that we have. And I know for me personally, I've been avoiding having an argument with my homie, but then finally he fucking said some shit and I was like, you know what, bro? I need to have a conversation with you, bro. I haven't even got there yet. I didn't even have that conversation with them. I couldn't even get a conversation with my ex because we were already arguing. It's all fucked up, bro. It's all fucked up. Hold time, I gotta get this gym real quick. And that's what it is, man. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of misunderstandings. All of that shit in our lives comes very aggressively for our peace of mind, for our ability to pair bond and have relationships that are successful. And it turns out, women are still doing it. They're still the ones that make the choice of who they sleep with, and then they make the price of the sexual marketplace on who they sleep with. And then if it's a one percenter, all of a sudden they'll give a discount because you're rich. It's almost like giving the guy that already has it all more free shit. And this kind of pattern of waiting to be chosen, right? You want to be chosen. All of us want to be chosen. You know, we all want to be picked up by someone. And if women control access to sex, men control access to commitment. And that's what I did. I pulled my commitment back. I was like, look, lady, you've already done a lot of damage to me and my family. And for me to be so sick in my own mind to even reconsider it, I'm embarrassed. You know, it's embarrassing to say that I've been in abusive relationships. She would like to say I did some awful things to her. I said, really? Please explain what the awful things were, because killing a baby is not the same as me arguing, me telling you, get your fat ass out of the fucking car. I was serious about getting out of the car. I was serious about her walking away from me, disrespecting me, constantly calling me names. And it only took a couple texts for me to realize, oh, this chick's a button presser. This chick is obsessed about herself. She wanted to come in on the guise of, I'm worried about you. I'm thinking you might hurt yourself. And I was like, really? I think I'm doing pretty good. I got my shirt off. I'm working out at the gym all the time. I'm traveling the world again. I'm hanging out with my friends. And then little did that concern happen anymore. You know, it's always the backdoor route. You know, it's like, hey, I'm concerned about you. No, you're not. You're just mad that you can't control me. You can't control the narrative, and your narcissism is very excited that I even mention you. Like you're not the fact that it's taken me 2 years to get over you, and I'm still not over you. I'm still not over you killing my child. I'm over you, not the fact that you killed my child. And that's a real separation there, because she always keeps going like, my kids. It's like she's proud to have kids. Well, you killed one of your kids. Your child would be this tall right now, hugging your big belly and going, mommy. And I see that in the beaches. I see that in public. You know, the love of a child and the interactions between a mother, which she was supposed to be, and the way she has no authority over her children. Now, her argument would be, keep my children's names out your mouth. I don't even know your children's names. Isn't that sad? We never even established enough relationship to know her children's names. And now she's mad because I'm mentioning it. She's like, please keep my kids out your mouth. I don't even know their names to be in my mouth, right? Like, it's not even to mention them by name. I mentioned her a couple times because I was pissed and I know she was watching it, but she was saying, contrary to belief, I'm not stalking you. I don't know where you are. We couldn't even schedule a conversation, you guys, without an argument. We couldn't even stop. She couldn't even stop calling me names. So the I'm worried about you turned into name calling. And the keep my kids' names out your mouth turned into you're slandering me. And if you want to keep me in your show, some people get a buzz out of that. They're like, I still affected that man. I got something out of that. I'm happy that it still resonate. And I think it's the call of a dying lion, you know? It's the loudest roar, but it's her last roar, you know? I'm over it, and I'm so over it that she had to reach back and try to pull me back in and say, hey, you know, hey, I want to give you clarity. I want to give you closure. And really, she gave me arguments and slander and calling me not successful at business and not successful with friendships and all sorts of rude shit. And you're just like, dude, you're a full-on cunt. Not only did you kill my baby, but now you actually have the audacity to still talk shit after 2 years. It was shocking to me. You know, it's really sad to see inside that there are people that I could care about, put energy in, even though they already had energy into another relationship, a divorce, kids, and now she can just go, yeah, my kids, I got a schedule, my kids. I'm like, what about your other kid that you killed? You don't want to talk about that. It's just the ones that you've already had. So these are high priority, but the one that was inside you, the last one, is not. It's about control. You know, you can control me and make me move from Brazil to America and make me chase you and keep your name in my mouth and keep obsessing about it. I'm not obsessing about her. I'm obsessing about me falling in love with someone like that. Like, why am I like that? Why would I go after a woman that killed my baby? Like, why do I have the instincts or necessity or the feeling? I didn't even know I needed closure. She just reached out, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, now we're talking again? Like, I haven't heard from you in 2 years. You straight stopped talking to me, killed my baby, and never talked to me again. And now all of a sudden, 2 years later, you're talking about closure. And I found it absolutely shocking. Let me keep hitting this gym real quick. Hold up. 8-ounce gloves. And that's what it's come down to. I had to do some research on covert narcissists, people that they just want to shine. You see them in public and you're like, wow, that's a really nice guy. They're so polite, but they can't stand it when someone else gets the light. They can't stand it when they come down the spiral staircase and they get a compliment and then the next person gets a compliment. They're jealous of the other person's compliment. And I thought to myself, and we all have to think to ourselves, how much of an array on this standardization are we? How much of a narcissist are you? Well, the truth is we're all narcissistic to a certain degree. Now, is it to the detriment to yourself and your friendships? That's another question indeed. There's a lot of that going on, you know? We live in the 21st century where everybody's trying to outflex each other, trying to get the best deal for the least amount of price, and we live in that range, you know? We live in a world where everybody's obsessed about looking happy, but not actually being happy. And to kill someone else's happiness, to kill my joy. She wasn't really worried about me. She was worried about her image and how she would look in public. And as if anybody cares what she looks like or even anybody even knows who she is or her children's name. I've said many things about her kids, but I've never slandered them. The one thing I said was that they were ugly because I was really pissed off, and I don't think she has good-looking children. I'm just being honest. They're not my blood, and she keeps wanting to put that in there. She keeps wanting to make that point that I was supposed to be a leading example for her kids of what a loving relationship was supposed to look like. And the truth is she is not the example that she's talking about. She's the one that was supposed to keep her marriage alive and keep her relationship before I ever met her, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you already had 2 kids. You already had a life. You've already been married for 10 years. Your life is over. Literally, after 30, all your values drop, especially for women. It doesn't get any better. You're running out of time. And now she's knocking at 40, single mom, taking care of 2 kids, talking about, I didn't need you to take care of my kids. I do that on my own. I just wanted you to be a role model for them. That's a high price to pay. For me to be a role model for your children, they'd have to be mine, right? And then you didn't even give me my child, but you want me to take care of your children. And maybe not financially, but you eventually do. I can't go there to Burger King and go, oh, I'm here for role model support and not financial support. That never happened. No, they need me to have a commitment to her so that way she could have a marriage and a family. Now she's knocking at 40, still got the baby weight, I'm sure of it, you know, and still got the stretch marks and the bad attitude and the name calling and the whole bit. It's funny, some people want to pretend that that their shit don't stink, and I'm here shitting on myself all the fucking time. She thinks the show was just shitting on her. I don't look good talking about this shit, you know? I don't look good as a man that scared a woman into an abortion. Maybe I took too much responsibility for it. Maybe I didn't scare her. Maybe she never was involved with it anyway. You know, there's a lot of people that want to hide behind closed doors, and that's what they do. They don't want, oh, I'm not having sex till you're 5 months pregnant, and then you got to actually tell the truth that you've been banging and unprotectedly and doing things secretly. And that's what it all comes down to. Whatever you do in the dark comes out in the light. And I've learned that, you know? I've learned that there are relationships that people try to have that they don't want to have, but they're too scared to be alone. Or maybe they have some dysfunctionality in their relationships, maybe in their childhood. This all stems from it. I had to look at my childhood and go, oh shit, maybe I'm trying to save my mom. Maybe I'm trying to save that single mother that's narcissistic and psychopathic and bad temperament. And guess who I ended up dating? Someone else that doesn't mind calling me names, someone else that's narcissistic and covertly too, you know. That's what's so weird about it, you know. Then my mom would be screaming her ass off. She'd be like, get the fuck down here right fucking now. And guess what? The phone would ring and she'd be like, hello? You know, she would be like the sweetest thing since apple pie. And it was so manipulative. And my mom does it sometimes too, still. I have to call her out on being manipulative. And all of a sudden, oh, I love you. But one minute, I love you, is the next minute, I'm calling the cops on you. So I have to take it with a grain of salt. I have to take responsibility for me and my decisions and who I date and who I fuck and why do I fuck them or why do I choose them. If I'm the access to commitment, why am I pulling the trigger on a commitment with someone else that just pulled the trigger on a not commitment? She already got divorced. She already lost custody of her kids and she lost my respect. And that's the whole thing, you know, like narcissists are going to be on damage control. They're going to want people to believe that they look a certain way. You know, I'm on this show talking my shit every day. I'm like, you know, I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. And that was the whole thing with Saints Addiction, to come out and say, I'm an addict. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. You know, I'm an ex-drug user. I'm finally sober, you know, like working out every day, not even smoking weed, you know, had a few couple drinks. Some chicks bought me 2 shots of tequila the other night. It's a thing, you know, I'm not perfect. Somebody put the words out clean and sober. I was gonna put out dirty and sober, you know, like Cali sober. Because I do numb myself because my brain overreacts and overthinks and overcalculates, and I couldn't fathom why someone could do this to me and hurt me so bad. And then not for nothing, why would I let them to have an attempt to do it to me again? That's the scary thing, you know, like it was scary to me that, you know, I allowed this person into my life. And then after I kicked her away out of my house the first time crying, guess who came back and drove all the way from San Francisco to come fuck your boy, right? Hypersexuality. And then she says, I'm talking about her sex life. No, I'm talking about my sex life. My sex life was us having sex 3 times every morning. That's about it. That's all I've ever said about our sex life. No one really knows or cares. But it's one of those things where if you're a narcissist, you're going to think it's all about you. Just like my mom said, you're so vain, you probably think the song is about you. It's totally true. It's the song, I forget who sings it. My mom said the name when I was listening. She said Patsy Cline is not it, but she was saying Patti LaBelle? No, I forget the chick's name, but You're So Vain was a popular song in the 70s. And there are people that will. She'll probably watch this show after I blocked her on WhatsApp and say, oh, the whole show is about me. No, this show is about being sick of it. You know, sick in our own mind where we keep choosing bad decisions. You know, there's got to be a time where you're like, you know what, I don't want to smoke cigarettes anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the way it makes me feel. It's the real reason why I quit smoking weed, because it was making me drowsy and dizzy and just like not hungry. So the joints were fucking with me, and my homie's like, well, why don't you smoke your straight weed? And I'm like, even then, it's not the same. I'm used to smoking blunts and not disappearing for 4 hours into my phone, into my problems, into my mind, into my emotions. I started just going straight to the gym and using my energy, the high energy that I have while I'm up and alive, while I'm fasting, just come in here and tackle these issues one by one. And that's something that I've been building with myself. I had to build up some kind of a resistance to low-level fighting, low-hanging fruit, you know, like little pot shots, like my homie trying to get more water out of me. I was like, bro, I'm not going to be bullied by you, you know? I'm going to stick up for myself. I bought water. That's why I'm drinking water. He's like, right? And I'm like, well, your friends keep drinking water. Why don't you make them buy water? And instead of being a man and asking me, hey, can you go please grab a couple gallons? No, you sent me a photo of the water that you wanted and then kind of argued with me. Oh, okay, bro, like that. I only got 3 days left, man. I finally got my business cards. Thank Allah. Your boy Saint, let me grab them. Because I'm proud of them. Hold tight. Your boy Saint, been hustling. I knocked on these doors. I went to the places. And now, boom, baby, boom. Just like that. Smoking review. is live. I got the Smoke and Review at Gmail, smokeandreview.com, at Smoke and Review on Instagram. All the different products are on here. Ask us about pallets. We got monkey tail gears. We got racket grinders, Roken vapes. We got it all. We got, let me see, what's this other one? X Vape. I'm trying to read it backwards. We got Billionaire. We got all these and more to fucking make and sell around the world. There's our Tyson wraps right there. There's the Bovitas. There's the Medtainers, Peace Water, and Ryo cones. All right here, ready to go. Your boy Saint's been hustling, working my ass off, getting this design right. So I have the business cards on time. Waiting for my packages to arrive. You know, they still ain't here. This thing all fell apart right here, but I keep just knocking on the doors. I can't expect my friend to all of a sudden be my friend. You know, I've been traveling this whole time and people have been rude to me. From my friend who's in Germany, I guess I can't call them friends. These are travel people that when I was traveling 13 years ago, 10 years ago, everybody was cool. Now all of a sudden it's not cool anymore and everybody's acting a fool and they're running out of money. Everybody's infighting, yelling, calling each other's names. I'm not proud of that, bro. That ain't my favorite experience. I'd love to say, oh yeah, I just travel with effortless ease and everything just goes my way and nothing goes wrong ever in my life. And that's just not true. I have a lot of issues. I have my own personal issues, you know, dating women that don't love me and having a low self-esteem to let them do that. I probably should never slept with that chick that had a husband, you know. That's a decision. That's a pimp decision. That's a moral decision of like, what's my moral fortitude? You know, what do I hold dear in my life and what is important to me? You know, for me, I do faceless porn because I knew people were having sex. Hold on, let me fix my shorts. I knew people were already having sex. I realized that there was a market that I knew nothing about. I never watched someone else have sex before until I started going to those sex parties. And I never realized that people all have kinks and a sexual side to them. We might put out in the world, especially for narcissists, saying like, oh yeah, I never think dirty thoughts, or I never have sex with random strangers or without condoms. Those are all lies. We've all had sex without condoms. We've all had sex with people we didn't love. We've all had sex out of marriage. We've all done the deed because that's what the other half is doing, right? You're not having the sex by yourself. You're having sex with the wife that's infidelity. You're having sex with the person who probably didn't have condom on with the last person. And that's why STDs spread. This is how babies are made. This is how divorces happen. People are cheating on each other left, right, and straight. They're cheating in life. And they're cheating themselves. And I didn't want to cheat myself. I didn't want to fake that I was coping or use some kind of coping mechanism or some kind of cop-out for the reasons that things are happening the way that they are. I wanted to be real about my shit. I wanted to be honest and say, yeah, man, I'm dating this chick because I'm trying to save my mom. Like, that's some shit I heard from a psychologist with Tito Ortiz. Is like, why are you dating the porn star, Jenna Jameson? And he said, you can't save your mom by dating her. And it's true, I can't save my mom by dating someone like her. In fact, I hurt my mom even worse because she thought she was gonna have her first grandchild, something that we've always talked about. And then all of a sudden, the baby got killed and now we have issues. You know, she started smoking cigarettes again, going through depression again. I was going through depression again. I mean, all these things had affected me. And yet when I wanted to talk to this woman and thought I was going to get closure, I got an argument. I got that trickle effect that I'm going backwards, you know, instead of moving forward and going to the gym every day and pumping myself up and doing the morning motivation and starting my businesses, Smoke and Review, and going to all the different smoke shops. I'm regressing. I'm hanging out with people that still don't love me. You know what I mean? Like my buddy, he's supposed to be my friend. I'm here for healing. He hasn't been healing at all. He's been aggravating and picking and starting fights and arguing. And I'm just like, dude, that's not how I wake up in the morning. Now, if I was more powerful and I had more money, I would just say, fuck you, bro. That's not what I came here for, and bounce to another place to live. Luckily, I only got 3 more days and I've already booked my trip in Barcelona. I have all of Spain Spain at my fingertips, many different cannabis shops to go to and talk to. I got many opportunities to be the man that I want to be, this man that travels the world, starts businesses, and can afford meals and eat healthy during mid-afternoon, take my time to get my mind and my body right, than have to be a slave and work for somebody else and go to a boss and a job at just over broke, and some other person calling me or me calling somebody else my boss. No, I'm my own boss. So even if my friend wants to act a fool, I never mind sleeping on a fucking couch. If I can't sleep on the couch, I don't mind sleeping on a park bench, bro. This is the last thing I want to do is be abused. He didn't say please. He didn't ask me nicely. He just sent me a photo. And instead of communicating with me properly, he's been just digging at me. And it's not just my ex, and it's not just my friends. It's what I'm sick of completely. It's what I've been allowing. And that's why I had to have this conversation today. It was just like, what we allow will continue to happen. And what level of dignity do we have? I mean, certain parts of it could be pride. You could be like, I'm too prideful to ask to borrow money, or to look foolish to the crowd, or to have a booger on my face, I'm here saying, you got a booger in your face. I get boogers in my face. Sometimes I got shit in my beard. Sometimes my shit don't shine. I'm at least honest about it, That's what Saint's Addiction was all about, was that I'm not perfect. My last name might be Saint, but I'm far from perfect. I've made so many mistakes, and Lord knows I beat myself up over it. And I've also learned those lessons in life. I've been whipped and taught by my anger. And I was just like, you know what? Not for nothing. I'm not angry anymore. I'm aware. And that's something that I really took a lot of work to switch from. And a guy that was just mad at the world and just wanted to battle and hit things and constantly punch and rage and fucking hit and get myself all worked up after it. And then to the guy that has self-control and can see when I'm acting that way or being that way or things aren't going my way. That's okay. Oh, see, got hair coming out of place right there. Each one of us has bad hair days. Each one of us has bad relationship stories. Each one of us is going to have to learn that lesson. But the real thing I'm coming down to, the crutch of this whole conversation was you got to be sick of your own habits. You got to really look at yourself. They said that a user won't quit till they're actually done using. And it's true, because you got to be sick of throwing up on yourself at the bar, or shitting your pants, or arguing with your friends. You got to be sick of name calling, or having someone call you names, or people not saying please. Eventually you put your foot down, say, I'm sick of it. Enough is enough. I don't appreciate the way that people are treating me. And I deserve to treat myself better that way. And by that, I don't mean I'm entitled. I mean, I deserve to have a healthy body. So therefore, I got to earn it. I got to earn my trust with people. I got to earn my respect. I got to earn my life. And that's what I've been fighting for this whole time. Let me see here. Somebody said, morning, homie. Love the show and content. And anyone that knows you knows you're not a quitter and you're an honest human being. Rise and shine, motivation. Thank you, bro. Thank you for those words. That's what it is. I'm a flawed human. And I admitted it right off the bat. That's what Saint's Addiction was. It was like, it's supposed to be perfect, but I'm flawed. And I made mistakes, and I try hard, but I'm going to make even more mistakes. And I'm going to keep failing forward at my life. I'm not going to give up because one relationship didn't work out. Lord knows I wanted to give up. I wanted to kill myself. I felt like the biggest failure of my life. But the truth is she failed me. That's what's weird. I took so much accountability for it, but she failed me. She failed to calm me down. She failed to stop calling me names, and she failed the commitment in the relationship. So it's like, however she wants to write the story, and she's going to say that the show is about her. No, the show isn't about you. You know what I mean? You're so vain. It's not about you. It's about healing. That's what it's always been about. This whole time, it's just like, how do I heal my flawed little mind, my flawed little life? How do I become the better version of myself? And I did that today by sticking up for myself against my friend. He didn't say please, didn't ask me, didn't communicate properly. He's been a dick, so I stood up for myself. And he kind of was like, whoa, okay. I'm like, get your friends to buy some water. And same with my ex. She's like, I don't think this is healthy for the both of us. You're absolutely right. Let me hit that block button. It still works. And I don't need to unblock you. You don't need to contact me. All I need is my own healing. And that's what this show's about today. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But the other side of your fear, the other side of your misunderstandings, the other side of your imperfections, it's all part of all of our journeys. And it's a messy process, this life. And I wish mine was full of glory, but it is sometimes full of strife. And that's what I have to take to keep my life in order and sometimes disorder. And I take both, the good and the bad. And that's what Saints Addiction's all about. Chigathon. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching. And thanks for the comments. I appreciate that. Peace. Let's get it started. Let's get